Welcome to Body Transformation TV. I'm Hayden Dawson. Today we have Kerry Breen with us. How are you today, Kerry?
Fabulous.
Kerry is absolutely, the best way to say it, is pissed at me today because she absolutely hates being on video, and last second I sucked her in. But the reason I sucked her in is because she's a perfect example of how people can go from doing no exercise and being completely new to the fitness industry and come in and absolutely rock it. Now, again, what Body Transformation TV is all about, it's all about actionable content, showing you people who are maybe in the same situation as you were, because we know many people that are watching this at the moment may be looking at getting into a fitness program, health program, not sure what program to get into, and they may even be scared about jumping into a gym or wherever it may be. And the idea is, people change for two reasons: desperation, inspiration. And at the moment it may be desperation, but after listening to Kerry's story and a few of the other stories that we share, hopefully it will inspire you, because desperation only gets us so far in our transformation journey. So if you can share with us right now, what was your story before you started exercise? Because obviously you had that period where you weren't exercising, probably health wasn't up there in your values hierarchy. Can you kind of explain about how you felt and just give us a background to Kerry Breen before exercise?
I'm a mother of three. I'm married, so I had 3 children in 4 years, which meant that it was hectic, like it was really busy. And my husband had a business, so there sort of wasn't a lot of me time, so it just sort of made it about my husband and the 3 boys, which was great, but it meant there was no extra time, no extra energy, no extra money for anything else. And now that they've all grown up, which is amazing, still got 2 at home, but they're pretty low key. And I decided that it was time for me to do something. I wanted to be able to keep up and do all the fun things and meet some new people too. That was one of the big triggers. Like, it's hard to meet new people when you're an adult. So I've stuck my head in here, had a little peek, and I thought this would be for me.
So when you joined, obviously we know at the moment that you're exercising 5 days a week, unless 6 days a week, unless you're ill or unless something
life
gets in the way.
Yeah.
But when you joined, did you think you'd be doing 5-6 days a week of exercise?
No, especially after the first day. The first day I could barely move, and I thought, I don't think I'm going back. I think it's going to kill me. Like, I waited until I was 44, which wasn't a great idea, but I'm 45 now and I'm still alive, so that's a good sign. But yeah, I never thought that I'd get through, and it took me a while to be able to do a Saturday class, and even now I sort of have a little bit of a cry on the way in, and I'm like, I don't know if I can. But no, I love it. It's addictive.
So obviously at Advanced Fitness we try and make the workouts fun and tailored to your fitness level, but in general, because there's lots of people here that may be doing workouts at home or thinking about workouts at home or at the local gym, what else was it that kept you coming 5 or 6 days a week? Because there's so many things out there that are fun, but people still don't stick to them, or don't stick to them 5 days a week.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's not repetitive makes it great. Like, you're always doing something new. You sort of look at the board and you think, okay, I don't even know what that is, which is great. You learn something new. The women are encouraging, and obviously you guys, if I'm not here, like, where the hell are you? It's quiet. You must be, something must be wrong. So I love that you make us all accountable, and you want to come in, start your day off right.
Definitely. Yeah. So you went through your story before, where you were.
Yeah.
How has health and fitness and exercising, making small nutritional changes, impacted other areas of your life?
The biggest thing is my family. Like I said, I've got 3 boys, they're all grown, they're 25, 23 and 21, and I thought I was cooking healthy, but even cutting down on a lot of the things that you've shown us and told us has made a difference in their life.
So what sort of changes did you make?
More fruit and vegetables, I don't crumb chicken and things like that anymore, whereas I did a lot of that sort of thing. I mean, I was never a deep fryer or anything, but I crumbed and fried in oil and all that sort of thing. I don't do that anymore. We've got a George Foreman, we put a lot of things on the barbecue, I roast meat rather than fry it, things like that. Definitely more salad and more protein.
So just real small changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the smallest changes can be the most profound. We tend to we tend to, when we get in a fitness kick or try to make a transformation, we try and change everything.
Yeah.
We cut out X, Y, Z food. We start adding in these other foods. We start going really bland with the food we're eating. And if it's not sustainable, it's something you can't do for the rest of your life. There's no point doing initially. And that's why just making those small changes, like not putting sauces on X food,
Exactly.
and starting to use herbs and spices, which you've done, have the biggest impact.
Yeah.
With your beliefs, before we started, what was your beliefs about exercise? Because the biggest thing I hear is exercise is something you do to lose weight.
No, it's definitely changes your body shape, ups your energy, it puts you in a better frame of mind. Like, it's not just about the calories or the scales. That's great. Like, I've loved losing kilos, but just feeling better and that sort of thing has made me more confident.
And what's your thoughts on looking at exercise as purely a way to lose weight? Because again, we talk about the changes in your energy and all the million other things, and the more confidence you have and so on. But people still tend to focus on just purely the scales, and if they're feeling better, they're getting stronger, fitter, but the scales aren't changing, they look at that as they're not progressing. So, what's your actual thoughts on those people that look at exercise purely as a way to lose weight and aren't taking into the fact of energy increases? And
I think it's a waste of time. Like, you can't exercise and not eat properly, and you can't eat properly and not exercise. I think they go hand in hand, and even your sleep patterns change, your energy levels go up, you feel like doing more. You want to go for a walk with the dog even after you've done an hour here. Things like that. I like that.
So, So your beliefs before you started exercising, did you think that exercise and equal weight loss pretty much? It was just, what I'm trying to say is, did you have the belief that exercise was purely just a tool to lose weight, or did you have a different belief? Or
I didn't think about exercise that much. Like, to me, exercise was a walk around the block. Like, I've always walked, and I always thought that would be enough. But as you get older, it's not. You've got to work on, doing the weights and the different training to get your body ready for it.
Definitely, and just on that point, I see so often, because there's so many people that maybe aren't at a high fitness level, and they feel that weights or doing some high intensity training, just the word high intensity scares people off.
Yeah.
But there's so many people that think that weights or high intensity is something that's too far advanced for them, and they need to work their way up. The thing we have to remember with weights, and I can give you numerous examples of ladies that are in here that have a million different injuries, haven't exercised for 30, 40 plus years, and they're still able to do weights and HIIT training. With weights or high intensity training, just do it at the level you're at. It's something where, if you just say you're doing some squats, don't load up a bar with 40, 50 kilos. Start with maybe just like even just a bottle of water in your hand.
Yeah.
Just something as an extra weight. As time goes by, you'll start progressing, because we have this huge idea that weights or high intensity training is for those that are quite fit. And what tends to happen is people start off with things like walking. There's nothing wrong with walking or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if we look at it from a purely scientific point of view, and what's going to get you the results you're after, what's going to strengthen your body, what's going to strengthen your joints, and what's going to help with longevity, which is what most people get into this for. Walking is going to help, but it's the weights training that's going to take you there.
Exactly.
It's saying where, if we look at it that way, people are jumping in the wrong vehicle. They're jumping in a vehicle that's going to take them the other way, where, if we focus on weights, and again, we give you actionable content each week, workouts you can do at home, that are high intensity training or weights based, that you can do in your living room. And if you commit, you don't have to commit an hour or two. That's the other thing. I think most people think it's 90 minutes, whereas, as our workouts, including abs and stretching and all of that, don't tend to go for more than 40 minutes. And how do you feel after that?
I'm dying. But in a good way.
In a good way, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. 40 minutes is well and truly enough, and you can even do 15, 20 minutes to work your way up. 20 minutes of proper resistance training trumps an hour or two of walking any day of the week.
Yep.
Again, going back to where you were before, because the transformational process isn't what happens at the very end. Transformational process is a journey, and transformations change to the point where you can't change back. So it's not about losing X kilos, because if you lose 10 kilos but you put the weight back on, you haven't made a transformation. Same if you lost 20 or 30.
Yeah.
But if you've lost maybe 2 or 3 kilos, but exercise now a part of your everyday life, you're eating so much better, and you've made these changes in the same where you'll never go back to where you were before. That's a true transformation. So, before you start getting into your exercise and nutrition, where was health on your values hierarchy?
I thought it was something I was already doing. I didn't realise I didn't have all the tools I needed. Like I thought I was reasonably had it going on. I didn't have a clue. And I didn't have a clue for 44 years. I thought I did, and you sort of copy what you've been taught, and that wasn't good. So hopefully the next step will be easier for my boys, because they'll have learned everything you guys have taught me.
Definitely, and people always talk about us being in an information age at the moment, and we're not in an information age, we're in a wisdom age. We're not craving information. If you get on Google or, Kerry, if you jump on Pinterest, you jump on, little backstory, Kerry absolutely loves Pinterest. If you're interested,
most girls do.
What's your Pinterest username?
Kerry Breen. That's as exciting as I get.
So hashtag Kerry Breen after watching this.
Don't tell Hayden about the cupcake file. There's a lot of fitness on there though.
But exactly right. You can jump on Google, Pinterest, Instagram, wherever it may be, Facebook. Geez, there's so much information. There's not lack of resources, but what happens is because there's so many resources, we get confused. This diet says do this, the other diet says don't do that. This other diet says that if you eat this, you're going to get cancer. A million different things. We're in an age of wisdom. We're craving stuff that's actually actionable stuff that can get us from
put it into place.
Put it into place. Really simple. And once we have the resources we're after, once we're resourceful, creative, we find a way to actually implement them. What keeps you motivated? Because many people watching this, we've done a training program diet before, and they may have done it for 3, 4, 5, even 6 months, but over time we start to lose motivation. What's kept you motivated?
The fact that I love it. I feel better for it. If I miss a class, I feel awful. Like I feel it. I don't sleep well. It throws my whole day off and gives me the shits. Like it really annoys me if I have to miss class. And the fact that you message me and go, where the hell are ya? Annoys me as well. Like I hate letting anyone else down. I love the group of women that are here. That makes it more fun. I like the training sessions. I just like how it makes me feel.
Because the number one thing I've noticed with Kerry is, in general, we need to make a conscious change with how we look at health. And all the things you've mentioned definitely 100% help. If something's not fun, we're not going to stick to it. If there's anything in life that isn't fun, it's going to get to the point where it's too hard, or we just want to give up. And,
exactly.
If something's not enjoyable and we have a hurdle, we're not going to keep going through the adversity. And exactly right. And it's that conscious change, which I've noticed, and what that is we were talking the other day about people with jumping on the scales, not getting the results they're after, or jumping on the scales having a bad week, or whatever hurdles may jump in the way. And it's because they're not looking at the amount of energy they have, how it impacts other areas of life. And the biggest thing is we can't measure what this stuff is doing to your body for the next 20 years. There's so many people that struggle to get up off of a couch, get off of a chair. Many people that even struggle to do some of the basic human actions, which is walking. And the stuff that we're doing here means that in 10, 15, 20 years time, by doing resistance training or some high intensity training, 10, 15, 20 years time, we're still going to be able to walk, still going to be able to move, get up and be limber. So it's actually changing the quality of our life. And you've made that conscious change where health is a vehicle for you to have more energy, really live life on your terms, and really be fulfilled for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And from my side, I think that's the biggest change you've made. And until we make that change, the transformation doesn't happen. There's many people who have had fun exercise programs. They've maybe done with a group of ladies they absolutely love, but until you make that change, you're just going to keep exhibiting the same patterns you always have.
Yep.
Now, with your nutrition, we briefed over your nutrition just before.
Yep.
What did an average day of eating look like before you started at Advanced Fitness, before you started this transformation process?
I was a bread one. So I'd have toast, and then I'd have a sandwich, and then I'd crumb a chicken, and I'd put a Parmigiana sauce on it, or cheese, and that's. I'd always have veggies. We were always veggie salad ones, but like you said, it's the sauce. Like I was a sauce girl. Like everything had a sauce on it. That's gone. That's completely changed. I don't eat bread at all now. Every now and then I'll have a wrap. But bread just doesn't agree with me now. It gives me a pain in the tummy.
What about snacks? What were your snacks? What did they look like back prior?
I have a son with a peanut allergy, so I make a lot of things. So I made a lot of brownies and biscuits and slices and cupcakes, and that would be what we'd have. Now I make the raw balls and all that sort of the healthier stuff. Eggs is my new best friend.
Yep.
Chicken is my new best friend. Yeah, just things like that have changed.
So if we look at your nutrition or your eating or your daily eating now,
yep.
What does it look like now?
It looks like yogurt and oats and berries for breakfast. It looks like eggs after I've finished here when I climb home and can get my shoes off. And then I'll either have a salad with some protein, it's usually tuna or chicken, and then I have some steamed veggies and fish or salmon or steak or something sort of that fits in the size of my great big tranny hands. I have to have littler than my palm because I've got such big hands. So that there's no snacks that I shouldn't be having. I'm not an after dinner eater. Completely changed.
Yeah, and in terms of your story program, one of the big parts is modelling success. If you find someone who's a success model, someone who's got their nutrition on point and is exhibiting what they should be with their eating, if you kind of copy and model exactly what they've done. So if people ate exactly what you ran through there, they'd be getting the same results and they'd be on the same path to a transformation. And I think if you approach nutrition from a no carb standpoint, and I'm saying no carb because it's one of the most common things I hear, where you're just cutting out carbs completely and just eating high protein, high fats. It's going to be something where I think from the get-go you've started your transformation process in the wrong vehicle. If we go back to that, on the wrong vehicle, and it's something where very few people who take that option in terms of their eating actually make the transformation, whereas those that take a moderation approach, having the right amount of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, fibrous vegetables, and so on, they tend to be the people who have the highest success rate. And if I was approaching a transformational process, I'd want to be in this category here of those that have a high success rate. And exactly what you said just there, with the yogurt in the morning and stuff like that, the eggs and all the other things, is absolutely spot on with that. So if you had to give someone, putting you extremely on the spot here, if you had to give someone out there who is watching this and wants to make the transformation, they're probably not quite sure whether they want to get into a fitness program, maybe because they've failed, if we want to use that word, failed before, not being successful, or they've quit something before. What 3 tips or 3 pieces of advice would you give to them?
Believe in yourself. And you only fail when you stop trying. Like, some days I come in and everything's hurting, and you say, "You be right," and I'm like, "Yeah," but I still do it. Like I whinge the whole time, but I still do it. You've got to keep moving forward. Yeah, definitely believe in yourself, because I never thought I could do the stuff that you make me do every day. The third one, change your habit about eating. Like, change it, whether it be sauce, whether it be oil, whether it be takeaway, whether it be fizzy drink, just cut it out. Like, you shouldn't be having it. We all know what we should be eating. We just got to put it into play. That's my 3 words of wisdom.
How do you feel, Kerry?
Great.
I'll put you on the spot.
Thanks for that.
Kerry nearly
Appreciate.
before we
Would have had some
before we started.
mascara or a t-shirt on. Sorry about the arms, ladies, but hopefully you feel my pain.
No worries. You did extremely well, and hopefully that gives information to people that they can action from home. Hopefully there's just one or two people watching this who are kind of unsure and might make the decision to go buy a pair of dumbbells, or maybe just commit to a home workout, doing X, Y, Z exercises, making small changes with their nutrition and so on. So thanks for
Thanks for
being
having
on the
me.
show.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching Body Transformation TV.